But this is the oval bench, and basically what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a few doppings first. You know how I said I hope this works? I think that's our answer, isn't it? I think that'll still work. I may need to swip it. Oh yeah, I'll do it from the other side. I'll do it this way. It makes it a bit easier for me. Only a little bit though, because I've got things to do. Here we go. Okay, so swap it around. Swap around ski. There we go. Good. So you're going to see it as I see it. Good. So here's a dop stick. I'm going to go get all the other dop sticks and some torching so that you can see how it's all going. Right. So here we have dop stick after dop stick after dop stick. Hopefully the alcohol won't fall because, you know, what will I drink then? Oh dear, I'm funny. Let's see if that works. Go over to here. Seems to do okay. So the whole idea will be to do a bit of dopping initially, and then to do a few opals, not many, just a few. These are some opals that have come back from my QC and they have not worked out as well as I would have liked, so I'm redopping them. There's also some opals just over here. I'll carefully bring them over. These are the last couple of days opals. So I'll get them going. Stick them here. There's been quite a few opals done in the last couple of days, which is good. I'm going to see a thumbs up, thank you. Once again, trying to be early, it's probably like 10 to a million o'clock or something like that in the United States, but what can you do? I like this one. I'll try and get that one happening nice. Oh yeah, I've got this thing happening here. You thought you'd be interested in this. Let's zoom in on that. Where are we? I can barely see because it's so bright out here. But can you see that little notch that I've started to carve into it? That is an idea of mine, just to see if I could get it into a ring or a setting a little bit easier than what it currently is. Maybe you can just drill a hole in your setting and then just drop the gem in at the notch. I'm pretty certain that's literally a medieval way of doing it. So I can't exactly claim new innovation in that case, but you never know. I'm just going to move this over and get. Okay, so I'm just getting into the live stream narration. The Opal guy has just released a Just Breathe. Just breathe. Okay, so let's go to me. To me. Continue. Your channel. Your channel. And there I am. Hello. Well, there are two watching. And you said it was pretty here. Can you guess where that came from actually? Because when you said "here we go again," it certainly brought up a quote in my head. I'm just pulling out all of these opals. I'm not going to use all of them. I think this one is probably a mandatory opal. So I'll flip him over. Let's just feel the alcohol content of the... as you know, Australians, it's almost second nature to be able to identify the alcohol content of anything. Hopefully the wind doesn't pick up, or else it's going to make a very cool live stream. You know, the moment I said that, wind. I think we got it. Hopefully I don't. I'm just checking the temperature up here because I've got a lot of things above it. It feels as though everything's going to be okay. Alright. So, I might just get this guy docked. Get this guy docked. Okay, well that was interesting. That's happened once before. I think it's alright. If it happens again, I think we're going to give up on that. But, well, that was an interesting little thing. I think what's happened is if you let the wick get onto the lid, it'll heat up the alcohol, create an alcohol vapor. Yeah, create alcohol vapor within the torch, and then once you get a sufficient air mix, I think we just recreated what happened on that Antonov of the Illusion 76, didn't we? There you go. The experiment proved. I always advocate, you know, experimenting and using your own materials. What could possibly go wrong? So what I'm doing here now, it's actually quite difficult to get people to see what's going on. I just let the wax just drip down into it. And I let gravity do its thing. And then I'll let physics do its thing later. Yeah, we're not going to prove the Hindenburg, not today anyway. Alright, sorry to disappoint. Ah, dear. That's one of those weird things. When you have a look at what happened to the Space Shuttle Challenger, yes, it's a tragedy. And no, I was not happy with what happened. It was actually an administrative problem more than anything else. But ultimately they said that it didn't explode, that aerodynamic forces tore the thing apart. I think that's pretty epic. Actually, it's a jar of printer cotton. So the printer, usually, if it's an inkjet, has got a lot of cotton material all inside it, some felt to make sure that any spillage is dealt with. And I've been using the felt for various purposes, including packing for opal cases. And I thought to myself at the time, and we'll find out if that's actually a good thought or not. I thought to myself that it's better to have all the alcohol soaking into some cotton than to just have it sitting there loose within the object. You know, my monkey brain said that was safer, but you know, who knows. So we'll get this guy on. If you remember, it's not a problem, it's just a nuance of having a having a new blade on, for the first couple of cuts, is really quite reactive. So you really viciously cut into that opal. Seeing it's not going on properly, I'm going to flip it around. I might actually use that side. I have a feeling that that's probably the better side. And then I'll just spin it until it's perfect. Or comes off, one of the two. What happens is when you spin these things and they've got unbalanced sides to them, they are more prone to fly off the dop. And I think that what happens is when you dop them, there is a particular heat that you get them, and I don't think everyone gets that heat right perfectly every time. And you just redop and redop and redop until you get it right, and then it stays on forever. Well, that's how I feel. Okay, so that's on. Just heat it to make sure that it stays on. Well, that's my idea. Like, I do stuff. We'll see if it does. If it's useless, then it's useless. If it's not, well, it's not. Whoa! Sorry, I'm just, when I was going through the wax, I was just getting some wax. We're still in camera shot, aren't we? Good. When I was getting some wax, I managed to just hit the foam. Right. Just a few extra beads of leg wax. If I'm given the option, I will always let, physics take over. Quite difficult to do this in an environment where people can see. But I don't mind, because I think that, ouchie, wouchies. Oh, there you go. I was going to say, you can see what could go wrong. Well, you can get your hand covered in leg wax, that's what can go wrong. So now I've got, hang on. Well, you'll be glad to know that the wax is sticking quite nicely to the opal. Am I being Australian again? That's not a leg. Now that's a leg. I'm not going to disgust anybody. We won't do that. Oh dear. Yeah. And if you're going to ask to see my legs, none of your beeswax. Is that an Americanism? Do people say that over in the States? There we go. So let's try that all again. Put the stuff on. Let it all mingle and merge. I might use a mingle and merging tool like a screw. That will work. Even better. No, and those are questions I just never ask my kids. I really don't want to know. But what I do know is that this is wax that I ordered for myself, and it's okay because, like, I've ridden a bicycle in the past, so people wouldn't put it beyond me to like my own legs. I think the post-delivery man is well used to sending a weird variety of items to me. Sometimes the new wax does weird things. It's got to accumulate a bit of opal and blood and whatever else I put onto it. Sweat. Tears. Definitely tears. Let's try that again then. Make sure I've got the correct side. Gonna have to scrape that off with the Dremel, I suppose. This one's a nice one too, so I've just got to be a bit cautious about it. And ordinarily I would have paid much more attention to the underside of it, just so that you know. I know how important it is to get the underside right, but at the time it was a good opal and I was just scraping off way too much material with the Dremel, so I thought, okay, discretion is the better part of valor. I've got to stop now, and so I think it's better to dop it now rather than to just hand scrape it to hell, basically. So that is probably the worst dopping effort I've ever done, and I've done it in front of a live studio audience. How's that good? And I've just Englished badly as well. Yeah, so that new border package that you guys are doing is probably aimed at me. Alright, here we go. No, I'm having fun with this. Usually it's fine. So, at some stage I will compare the performance of dot wax to just leg wax. But like, I haven't really bothered to change it because it hasn't really needed to be changed. So, I'm just going to leave that up there. These other ones, intermingled with all sorts of other things. I've also got some top 6 down here. I'm going to bring them up here. Do a few of these because I've got many. I've got to actually get cracking on the polishing side of things, because like I've cut dozens and dozens of opals recently and I'm really getting behind. I'm starting to have quite the pile of opals just sitting around waiting to be polished. And this one won't take too long. I hope you can see it. Try and put it in the sun too. Can you still see that? Yeah, we'll get the kids to do it. Then you keep kids. Start making wallets. Isn't it the traditional occupation for slave children? Should ask Angelina Jolie. Oh, is that too soon? Actually, I have no idea what's offensive across the pond, so I'm sorry if I did offend. I'm not meaning to. Nah, friendship bracelets. Well, for pretty bad number plates, I suppose. I might actually end up making number plates if I go to the States. Not sure I'm with the culture. It is a bit sad and tragic, isn't it? Just don't know why this. Like, weirdly not behaving itself today. That's okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of shaping off camera. Sorry about that. This needed to happen. It's because I can't see the flame. It's so bright out here I can't see the flame, so it's very hard to tell if I've got the dot stick in the flame or not. I don't think it's got anything to do with the type of wax. I think I'm in the right flame. There's a slight breeze which is dragging the flame from left to right. I'm not doing anything to cool the house down, might I point out. I was thinking that maybe what we should do is we should organise some kind of exchange that, you know, if you send through YouTube a little bit of your cold weather, I'll send a nice hot breeze through. That sounds like a plan, doesn't it?